Okay, well, hello and welcome to Swiss Gold Global, to this presentation. My name is Claudia Eifert and I am the host of today's webinar. And we're going to go through the first 30 minutes about what Swiss Gold Global is, and I'm going to walk you a little bit through the back office. I'm going to work you through how it works basically and what you can expect with us. And after that, in 30 minutes from now or 28 minutes from now, we probably going to have our founder calling in from from Switzerland. He was just today at the refinery, Agrinsonis in near Lugano. So he's going to come in and we do a Q&A session for you folks who have more questions. But let me just check a few things here before we get started. All right. Okay. So let's get this going here with my slideshow. I believe everybody should be able to see the slides now. So again, welcome to Swiss Gold Global 2.0, how to earn daily affiliate referral commissions, get paid daily with Bitcoin, Dash, Ethereum, Litecoin, Zcash, and mining packages. Also, our great friend from the US says, wealth today without delay. And about us, well, the company was founded in 2008 by Bill Rowell, an Australian citizen, who you will hear in the next 30 minutes from. And he is a successful entrepreneur. He owned hotels in Australia, and he got involved in a business, in a healthcare business, some 20 years ago, where he did build a huge organization next to his hotel business, and where he got to learn about this great industry of affiliation or networking. And he himself got involved in the gold industry now also almost 2 decades ago through some other Australian folks, and really learning about what money is and why gold and silver is really the ultimate wealth protection and hedge against inflation, obviously. So he set up this company in 2008 in Switzerland and as well in Dubai. He formed a strategic partnership with the world's best and largest precious metals LBM refinery, Agrinsonis. There are only 5 refineries in the world who are referee refineries. What does it mean? It means they certify other refineries to their standards and purity. So we deal with the highest of the highest. The company produces as well as the Rolex watches, as you see here. They produce such great, beautiful bars, as you see here. 1 kilo, it's a little bit heavy. They produce beautiful Kinne bars, which are absolutely unique product. So no other refinery will have them. I got it also in a 20-gram heart, as you see here. Really beautiful. And what we did, basically, Swiss Gold Global, what Bill wanted to achieve is that ordinary people, the normal people, that they had access to gold and silver, and that they had access from very, very little money, from as little as $25. Why would you say? Well, imagine most people live in basically in countries where they don't have access to, or they live in situations where they don't have just a few $1,000s which they can put into gold. They don't have that, and so we make it available for them from as little as $25 to also hedge their fiat currency, which is constantly losing its value, with, of course, hedging it with gold against this deflation or inflation. And so we also have a strategic partnership with the LBMA, London Bullion Market Association Precious Metals Storage Facility, Loomis, in Zurich and Dubai. That means for people who cannot hold their gold or silver in their countries because it's too dangerous or because it's too difficult even to ship there, well, they can hold it within the most renowned storage facility in the world. There is no other such as, of course, the storage facility of the LBMA in Loomis in Zurich and Dubai. And last year, the company formed a strategic partnership with the world's leading cloud mining company, Genesis Mining, out of Germany. Why did they do that? Well, you couldn't really ignore the fact that the whole cryptocurrency market, Bitcoin of course, and the other cryptocurrency, that this is a huge trend. It's the future of money. And since we always have been about protecting, asset protection really, diversification, well, this component had to be in there because it is a huge trend, and I'm going to go a little bit into it in a few minutes. But here you see our founder and CEO in the precious metals refinery in Zurich, sorry, in Mendrisio. This is actually in Mendrisio in Lugano, in one of the departments. Now this is a small apartment of a large refinery, of course, and he's holding very lightly onto this gold bar, but I can tell you what, he's bluffing because this is a very heavy bar. In fact, this is actually right now worth around $500,000 what he has holding there in his hand. Bill Rowell is also a licensed precious metals dealer in the DMCC in Dubai, as you see here, his card exposed. So our products and services, as you see, physical gold, silver, and collectibles, and mining in the different coins, such as, of course, Bitcoins and altcoins like Ethereum, Dash, Litecoin, and Zcash. Why mining? Well, it's very simple. You can, there's only two ways in order to get cryptocurrency. One is through mining and one is purchasing it outright. If you purchase it outright, of course, let's say you buy 1 Bitcoin, well, this 1 Bitcoin stays 1 Bitcoin. If you mine for it, well, you can mine 2, 3, 4 or more Bitcoins. So what would you rather have? Would you rather be able to mine for various coins, or would you rather have just one coin? I believe you all understand. We also have exclusive coaching programs once you upgrade your free account to an affiliate account, and we have training from coaches of Bob Proctor as well as Bob Proctor's training programs in there. We do have training for business from Don and Nancy Failer, and we have trainers such as Carolita Oliveros, who is the co-author of the financial education system of Robert Kiyosaki, which I guess everybody should know, at least everybody who is interested in gold, silver, and in making money. So Philip Jatek, in fact, Bill is right now just with Philip, and they are just about to go to, or they were already in Argo, or going tomorrow to Argo. So he's the bullion banker, the largest private bullion banker, and he is, of course, an educator in our system, in our business. You find him once you upgrade his courses about what is money really, and what money serves to, because most people don't really understand the money and gold backing. And of course, James Rickards as well, one of the most foremost gold authors, basically. So simple system, simple revenue. You set up your gold, silver savings plans from as little as $25. We have people, we have parents, grandparents setting up savings plans and for their grandchildren in their back office very easily, and therefore, of course, hedging their money. It doesn't matter if it's dollar, if it is euro, if it is yen, and against this current inflation. You can mine, as you saw, you can compound your mining when you become a affiliate, or when you become a customer. You can share it with other people, and you can accumulate free hash power so that you can even make more money from the mining. You can refer to clients and build a network. We do also have a lucrative compensation plans for those people who would like to build a network with it. It's not for everybody, but some people would like. We have more customers, obviously, with the products we do have. Why gold and why cryptocurrency? Well, the world is in a financial prison. In fact, there are countries going bankrupt. Tough realities are there are job shortages, there are stagnant wages, there are rising prices. And you're trading your life for money which is constantly losing its value. Every 8 years, in fact, you need to make double the money that you made 8 years ago. Why? Because so much prices are rising, or so much your currency is buying less. Your fiat currency. Fiat meaning, when you look in the dictionary, not backed anymore. So you work for this currency which is losing its value, where your shopping basket is basically getting emptier and emptier every time you go shopping. And people mistakenly go through life. They think they will need less money when they retire than they need today. I hear this all the time, but in fact, I myself, I'm 45 now, and I joined this company when I was 36. I joined this company, and I feel it myself. Hey, you know what? You're getting older, and you may got a little bit more wrinkles, and you want to correct them. Not that I want, but I mean, when you get older, I see it. My mother, and she needs new tooth, and it's this coming and this coming. That's all cost money, and people think they need less. It's absolutely nonsense. So why gold? Why silver? Why Bitcoin? Well, it's a hedge against inflation, of course. Back over in the Roman Empire, you could buy with a good, nice ounce, as you see here, ounce of gold. You could buy yourself a good toga and a pair of leather sandals. 100 years ago, the same coin, you could do the same. Today, if you go down, doesn't matter where you are, we have people from London, people here from New York, Orlando, or from here, Frankfurt, Germany, or Switzerland, doesn't matter where. You go down, you go to your gold dealer, you sell this, you get $1,300 roughly for it, you can dress yourself nicely. Now, 100 years ago as well, 1 ounce of gold would get you $20, a $20 note. Now I ask you today, what would $20 get you? Well, probably not much, certainly not a nice dress anywhere in the world. It's a protection against inflation, volatility, combining the stability of physical gold with the agility of Bitcoin. So you see here the name agility of Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency, also called gold 2.0, only 21 million Bitcoin will ever be mined, 1,800 currently being mined per day, has, similar to gold, a limited supply, meaning it makes it precious, it makes it valuable. You see, we always call gold or silver precious metals. Why? Because there's only ever be mined what fit in one Olympic stadium of gold. So one Olympic stadium, all the gold put in there, which is on top of the crust of the earth, which is mined, would fit in there. With Bitcoin, there's only 21 million. With fiat currency, paper money, your US dollar, your yen, your naira, your British pound, well, you can print endless. You just have to basically plug in the printing press, right? So future of money, cryptocurrency, it's really interesting. We don't certainly know yet if and what will be the impact. The impact is already huge, but just think of it a little bit as of change. I mean, in '72, it was the year I was born. You know, the first bank cards came out, and nowadays we can have applications on our mobile phone where I can use this hash code for my Bitcoin, and I can pay my trip to Australia where I'm going soon. And that is really, really interesting. So future concept, well, I believe so. Because when we look at government controls, when we look at, of course, you know, all things which are going on, this is free market money. That's really what it is, free market money. Gold is free market money. In fact, of course, if you speak to the older generations, they know because they probably have maybe as a child gone through war still, or maybe not even as a child. If you speak to people from Yugoslavia, ex-Yugoslavia, Croatia, Serbia, and so on, they still know if they had gold, they could flee the country. Had they not had gold, they couldn't flee the country. Very simple. Vietnam, probably many people still in America especially know that. So futuristic concept, certainly it's a great concept, and more big investors, institutions, banks, even governments, even President Putin came just out with doing something with Ethereum, or maybe his own cryptocurrency in Russia. So it's more and more getting adopted, not yet mainstream, but by the huge investors and the big banks. And so if Bitcoin becomes, just imagine, a replacement solution over credit card processors, well, like Visa card, MasterCard, American Express, who actually do charge high transaction fees, well, Bitcoin would be worth around $17,000 per coin, just based on the pure mere fact that this market combines about 350 million. And think about the 500 billion which are made each and every year in remittances services, paying fees between 8 to 30%. So if you're in Sudan, or if you're in Ghana, or if you're in Nigeria, in those countries, and you want to send money over, you want to receive money, well, you pay a fee between 80 to 30%. Well, with Bitcoin, it is or less. It's actually roughly about 60% less on fees. So then the other part is most of those countries, and many countries, in fact most of the world's population, has still not yet access to bank accounts. And so basically this is banking the unbanked, and so there's a lot of possibilities around this Bitcoin. But where do they come from? Well, with paper money, government decides, of course, how much money they can print, and they can print endless, as we know, QE1, QE2, and so on. But Bitcoin does not have the central government, and they use, as you see here, special software which solve mathematical problems and issue a certain number of Bitcoins in exchange. And that is how they mine, and this is how the miners get an incentive to solve those problems, those difficult mathematical problems, and in order to get reward of those Bitcoins. So when you think of a physical gold mine, the miners are also rewarded if they do the heavy work of digging down the earth and do the physical hard work of mining. Yet, of course, when more miners come on board and more people find, hey, this is a great way to make money, of course, it is designed to get more difficult. Same as in the gold mine. If more and more miners coming, all of a sudden, of course, it's from that same pie which is there is less and less available. So that's why we say in Bitcoin, every 4 years is a splitting. That means every 4 years it is designed that there's only the half of it being mined, so that the pie is the same, more miners coming on board, so everybody just gets lesser and lesser and lesser of that pie. That drives then the price up, of course, because there's more demand, more miners coming on board, and of course Bitcoin rises. Actually really simple. So you see here a data center of where all those miners are placed and which producing those different coins. And in fact, myself and Bill, we have been there a few weeks ago in Iceland, in one of the many mining facilities all around the world. And I'm not going too much into it now. I want to show you actually on a live example. But mining is the process of spending computation power to process transactions, secure the network, and keep everyone in the system synchronized together. And unlike gold mining, however, Bitcoin mining does provide a reward in exchange for useful services required to operate a secure payment network. And Swissquote Global delivers you those mining contracts where you can get paid daily on the blockchain, where you can compound your daily Bitcoin income, where you can get affiliate income, and you can then take part of this income which you're making, convert it into gold, silver, or maybe more Bitcoin mining, and further inflation-proof your money. It's very simple. So you can also buy gold and silver with Bitcoin in seconds. It's very simple. If you have set up your back office and you are KYC approved, know your client, you can then just go ahead and purchase gold and silver. And so that you understand that the gold and silver you're purchasing with us from the most prestigious refinery in the world is the price of 2.97 above spot. Now that is an amazing great price. You will not find it anywhere down in the street, and most certainly not from Arco Horias. So it is very accessible for the individual. Very simple to set up. You open your free account, get KYC, as I said, approved, and start your mining contracts. And I'm going to walk you actually through right now in a back office how it looks like. So I'm in a test back office here, and you would just go to my precious metals over here. Very simple. And you have your My Precious Metals account. You can manage the gold and silver program. You can make a single purchase. You can convert your grams into products, because originally you're going to save in grams, in physical grams, which is not any paper, ETF or whatsoever, certificate, no gold. No, it's not. When you send money to Swiss Gold Global, okay, when you send money to Swiss Gold Global, the next day, and the London fixing, that's what it's called, the London fixing, the gold will be bought for you. Okay, so the gold is being held in Agrinsonis near the Italian border in Switzerland, in the precious metals refinery. That's where it is being held when you purchase those grams. Now, the moment you convert the grams into products, so the moment you convert them into the products, let's say into one of those beautiful products which you see here, so the moment you do that, then this product will be produced and will be shipped, okay, will be shipped to the storage facility which sits in Zurich, in Kloten. That is how it works, okay? And then, of course, well, you have it sitting in an allocated account, so that precious metal is allocated to you, and then you can ship it to you if Swiss Gold Global ships to your country. We have countries we do not ship to, and we do have sometimes people coming and pick it up. We have clients from Ukraine, for example. They love coming to Zurich and pick it up. They can do so, and then of course they need to be responsible themselves when they carry it over the border to pay their taxes if they have to. Normally with gold in the European Union it's not. Silver is taxable because it's an industrial metal, but gold is not in this quality. As you see, it's pretty self-explaining. You can sell it back anytime you wish. In fact, I had the other day a question, well, what if the gold has been shipped to me? Can I still sell it back to Swiss Gold Global? Sure, you can. You just need to take care of the delivery. So you have to pay the delivery fee, and then it will be basically put back to Agrinsonis. Agrinsonis needs to melt it down because it has left a chain of integrity, meaning when the gold leaves and it is with a transport company, it already has left the chain of integrity. That means when the gold is taken back, it needs to be melted down if it's still that pure because of manipulation risks. If it is just shipped from Agrinsonis with the LBMA secure armed trucks, and it's just shipped to Zurich, well then it is not. It has no need to melt it down again. This is a secure chain. So very simple. You can again sell it back if you still have it in grams sitting there as well. Just push a button and it will be sold back, and then you just give the indication to Swiss Gold Global where you want to have the money sent to which account. So it's pretty self-explanatory. But let me go ahead where I was. So mining works similar. You open a free account, get KYC compliant, purchase your mining contracts, open an independent free Bitcoin wallet, insert that wallet into the back office and get paid daily. So I'm going to go back into the back office here. We go onto my crypto. And you see, you will only be able to go into my crypto if you are KYC approved. Otherwise, you'll not be able. You will also only be able to buy gold and silver if you're KYC approved. So in this case here, you have a dashboard, transaction history increase. So this is just a test account. So basically, there's nothing yet in there. So you see 0.00 terahash, there's nothing there. So when we go to transaction history, there's no transaction history yet because there's nothing bought in that. But if you bought Bitcoin, well, you will have a transaction history here. And you can purchase then your contracts, increase your hash rate. Very simple. Start now, select the contract you wish, and go further, and then select here the contract you wish to have. If you go the highest contract, that is a discount. then you go next, and then you select the payment method. Credit card is only up to $500, and you can do a bank wire, you can pay with Bitcoin. Gift certificate works only when you have either wired money to Swiss Gold Global or you have had commissions, so as I have, and I'm buying with my commissions via a gift certificate hash power. So it's pretty simple. And let me hi Matt, hi everybody. So Bill is joining us in 4 minutes from now, but let me go further in my presentation here. So as you saw, that's pretty simple. Why not getting paid in Bitcoin? And this is how it would look like if you're actually getting paid in hash power. So you see all the kinds of different BTC, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dash. You see all the kinds of rewards as bonuses. Why as bonuses? Because that account, or this snapshot which we did take here from the back office, is basically shared with a lot of people. So when you're a free customer, you're going to get 2.5% on the contract which that person you introduced bought. If you're an affiliate and you pay your membership every month, you're going to get 5%. So works pretty simple. And if you purchase, then it would here not say bonus, it would say purchase. You're going to get paid on the in your Bitcoin wallet, obviously, and every transaction is being visible on the blockchain. And you don't see the names, but you see the hash codes here. So you could actually look up with your hash code any transaction, paid to you. So it's pretty simple. If you team up with us, get residual income through Bitcoin mining and compounding it, earn immediate income from fast start bonuses when you build a network, get residual income from building a network, and preserve your wealth through the ownership of Swiss Gold certified pure gold and silver. And let me go back into the test back office so that I walk you around there a little bit as well. So for example, if I wanted to say, hey, you know what, I like this business, I don't want to just be anymore a customer, I want to actually become a affiliate. You can just go here, my subscriptions, and you can upgrade my packages. And you have then the different packages available for upgrade. So there's a miner package which only contains mining in there. Then you have a executive miner package which contains a larger contract on mining. Then you have a silver, gold, ambassador, platinum package, which of course range up to $5,000. It simply has more gold, silver, and a large contract of Bitcoin mining in there. So this is basically the difference. Okay, you can do that very easily. If you have any questions, you always can send a ticket to help. So under the help section, you have the different departments where you can simply send a question to support. You also have frequently asked questions, so you go to your website and everything is basically there. More about Swiss Gold Global, what is it, what is Bitcoin, how is my returns on Dash, Ethereum, Litecoin, how can I calculate it, how can I calculate my Bitcoin risk and return. So basically everything is there when you click there. How do I complete my KYC? I don't know, I'm stuck. How do I do that? Again, you can go there and you can basically do that there. It's really everything you need to know is on your Swiss Gold Global site. Let me go to another site of Swiss Gold Global. Let me just go to the Swiss Gold Global site here. When you go to the Swiss Gold Global site, you also see under cryptocurrencies, you learn a little bit more. If you don't understand it, what is it? You can watch a video. What is mining? What does it mean? It's super easy. Get started, choose a contract, hash power gets activated. You are now mining. So it's all kinds of stuff is actually here for you. You just need to know where to find it, so to speak. So the options to get started with us is, as I said, free account. A free account member, as you learned, can also refer and can also get paid 2.5% from other members or from other free account holders when they purchase a mining contract. The other option from option 2 to 7 is actually, they are members, they are affiliates. That means they have a one-time entry, which you see here, of 170 up to $5,000, one-time entry. And then the different packages, for example, the miner and silver have a $50 monthly membership. The others have it as well, but it's paid upfront for the whole year, the $50 membership. And then next year, they just do it again. And what it gives them, it's basically very simple. So let's say you're an affiliate, you purchase, let's say, the miner package of $170, and you get another person in with a miner package or silver or gold or ambassador, executive or platinum. This is what you're going to get on commissions from $42 to $590, plus you're going to get an open-ended contract of gigahash power, mining power, which of course mines you more money until Bitcoin mining is profitable to mine. So even though, let's say, you're never going to do anything anymore, you maybe just joined, but then you don't do anything anymore, you will still get paid from and through Swiss Gold Global on the mining side. So basically you're making passive income whether you do something or you don't do something, which is really, really cool. But if you do something, if you build, like I do build a business, and I build people because we build people first, well, then you can make a very, very lucrative income. We have 7 levels that the uni-level compensation plan pays, and in unlimited levels once you achieve the position of an ambassador. And it pays in the first 2 levels 15% of the $50 membership, and up to the 7th level pays 5%. Then the pays a 2% unlimited level down to any generation. So very simple. If you want to build cash flow, be paid to save in gold, silver, Bitcoin, well, your next step is to join us, join up, get started. If you wait for the perfect conditions, we will never get anything done. And with that, I'm just checking if I can see Bill here, if he is there, if he's not there. So let me just...
I am here, Claudia.
Hi, Bill. That is wonderful that you're here.
Hi. Yes, of course I'm here. I love to be here at Swiss Gold Global. So thank you for hosting tonight's call, and welcome to everyone joining us from different parts of the world. Unfortunately, I'm on my phone, so I'm not logged into the GoToMeeting system, so I can't put my camera on. But as long as you can you hear me okay?
In fact, I can hear you very clearly. So really, really great connection you do have in beautiful Lugano. How is it?
Raining, but it's still beautiful. So how was your call, Claudia? What questions do we have tonight? For anyone that has questions, it's great that you can type them into your control panel, and Claudia will pass them on to me, and I'd love to be able to address them for you.
Wonderful. So we are waiting for some questions here. I know people always have questions, which is great. So probably one of the questions which you know most people are coming is your view on Bitcoin and the profitability on Bitcoin, and the security around, and I mean, I know your answer anyway. So, but maybe you want to touch a little bit on it. I mean, we've seen some great rallies the last few days. It's just pretty amazing, isn't it? So maybe you want to touch on that. Meanwhile, questions are coming in here.
Sorry, Claudia, you just broke up. Touch on what subject regarding the cryptocurrency?
Yes, I was talking about Bitcoin and on the rally we just had, and the ups and downs, and of course the security and the guarantee of earnings, or with of course our partner Genesis. So things like that people always like to know.
Okay, well, it's a good question. Well, certainly one thing's for sure, the market is volatile, isn't it? I mean, you look at Bitcoin right now, itself has a market cap of around about 46 billion. Its price is around 2,800. Wow, $2,800 for a Bitcoin. Ethereum, $260. I mean, that is so beautiful. But will it last? Dash, NEM, all these particular coins. Ethereum Classic, I remember when I was in Vietnam earlier this year, it was $1.20, I think it was, an Indian man who you also met, Claudia, who owned a cafe and also a Bitcoin machine, an ATM machine, said, you know, Ethereum is going to run. It's now at $17. Imagine if you had bought $10,000 worth of that when it was $1.20 or $1.50. Now it's at $17. Just do the numbers. But this this is what drives these markets. What drives markets is emotion. It's fear and it's greed, and I think it's pretty much the greed right now. That's why the market's absolutely driving and driving. So be balanced in what you're doing. Don't let your emotions override your common sense when it comes into your risk management of investments. I've spoken about this before, and I think this is really important. Some people think this might be just I need to mortgage my home, I need to put this in because this one is going to set me free. Well, if you have luck, maybe so, but no one knows how sustainable this is. And of course, it's going to get to a certain level where of course, the buyers and the sellers emotionally, when someone's selling, they're selling for a reason. They think maybe the market's topped out. Maybe they're just taking profits. At the same time, someone's buying and thinking it's good value, buying at this particular level. So be aware of that. Be smart. Have a risk management plan. Now, regarding Bitcoin, again, the contracts will continue to pay as long as it's profitable to mine. So they're open-ended contracts. But we are in uncharted territory. We are in uncharted territory regarding the difficulty rate, regarding many things regarding cryptocurrency. So where is it going to lead? I mean, personally, I think it's, you know, given the demand and the increasing ecosystem demand for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, I think there's a very good chance that the price will even go further. But there will be sellbacks, and volatile sellbacks, and the buyers will come back in again. So just be aware of this and be aware that there is a risk on the Bitcoin contract. It will continue to pay while it's profitable to do so for the mining contract, and as per the terms and conditions, it means this, that there's no expiration date on your mining contract. But if the coin price, the difficulty rate, let's say it stays where it is right now, but the price was to drop significantly down maybe $500 or $600 and sustain that for maybe 60 consecutive days, and where it was negative payouts, it could void your contract. But what's the chances of the difficulty rate, which means there's high demand coming in for Bitcoin? What's the chance of, you know, on one side having high demand and increasing ecosystem happening, on the other side price dropping? So it's going to be volatile, but again, it's uncharted waters. So we don't have all the answers in respect to this. So when you're buying your contracts, I think it's always good to own Bitcoin outright. Own it, then the only risk you have, of course, and like the other currencies, is the exchange rate. Then mine some Bitcoins and mine some altcoins. Have a bit of a basket of the most popular coins, because the thing is with the alternative coins is that the maintenance fees are factored into the contract price. So if it's a 2-year contract, you're guaranteed to get paid for 2 years. And if you do your numbers on some of these alternative coin contracts like Ethereum now, the payout is really exceptional. But that could change. This is not fixed. So that's just a general sort of, in one sense, information for you. Just be balanced with your emotion, balanced with your risk management. But of course, you've got to be on the, you know, if you're not on the train, you're not going to win either. So do it what's right for you, okay? That's what I'd like to share regarding the markets.
Thank you, Bill. And my strategy is very simple. I take out what I did make. So I cash in and I make some profits, and so that I have at least what I put in back. And then, of course, I further compound. It's very, very, very simple. So if you make back what you invested, so you know that's you never lose, right? So you gotta be smart with that. There's also more questions coming in.
But just on that, Claudia.
Yeah.
Just sorry, while you give me the question, just on that point though. Okay, you're trading now. That's a different thing.
No, I'm not trading. No, I'm not saying that. I didn't mean that. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. I was just going to say, because most people, you know, the optimism is buy low and we sell high. The truth of the matter is most people can't do that.
Correct.
So again, just beware. But anyway, Claudia, go ahead with your question, please.
Yes. So another question was, of course, this question is, okay, let me see. There's a lot of questions coming here. Okay, so a few questions about mining. Firstly, can you give us details on how the hash power is sold? E.g., does SGT bulk buy and allocate us a portion? I don't know if you can reveal that from Genesis, but I don't know. So go ahead.
Okay, well, I think if I understand the question correctly. Okay, it's pretty clear mathematics in one sense. We sell the mining contracts at the same price that that Genesis Mining does. Okay, so for us to be able to sell you they're mining contracts at the same price Genesis and pay at a 5% commission, 5%, not 3% what they do, obviously we're getting a discount, aren't we? So that's how we do that. And that pretty much answers that question, Claudia.
No, I think the question is different. The question is I believe that's what I read in the question. Detail how the hash power is sold. Do you buy it bulk buy so that because I think the question comes because Genesis was out of Bitcoin, but yet we had Bitcoin.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Well, as you know, we were also out of Bitcoin for 20 hours. I think it's now about maybe 2 weeks ago or 10 days ago or something. And primarily, this is really an important note. They cannot sell what they don't have. Now, I know Genesis had their biggest month last month, the month of May. I know that Swiss Gold Global had its biggest month in the month of May regarding the crypto space. I know that Bitcoin and all the cryptocurrencies had their biggest, and exchanges had their biggest month in the month of May. It's been very volatile. The demand is huge and dynamic. So I don't buy bulk. We have a contract with our strategic suppliers, just like we have with Argor Horizon down here. I am in southern Switzerland right now, that when we need gold and silver, we buy it directly from them. They ship it to us, and when we need contracts regarding mining, we have it an automated process, and we pull that hash power as required on an interdaily basis all the time. Now, the reason that was turned off for 20 hours was one thing. There was a lot of contracts backing up, and we're talking a massive amount of volume here, okay? And we're talking about the largest provider in alternative contracts, and one of the largest providers in Bitcoin contracts in the world. So it's a major company we're talking about here. So huge demand. So they wanted to reassess, okay, how much, if you could sort of picture a barrel full of hash power, and on the other side you've got a barrel full of contracts which is overflowing, and you don't know what, of course, it's an automated system, but some have 15 terahash, some might have 200 gigahash or 0.2 of a terahash, etc. They wanted to assess the growth and project the future, because once the barrel is empty, what I mean by when the barrel is empty, it means that the rigs, the thousands upon thousands, tens of thousands of rigs are working at the maximum capacity 24/7. They cannot sell hash power that they do not have. Now, in that 20 hours when we were shut down, Genesis assessed the situation. Now, they've got, they're huge, they've been around for many years. To honor their contract to us, they turned off their supply in Genesis Mining, but they kept our supply active. We had some alternative contracts available. They did not have them available. Obviously they had reserves, of course, but they want to manage the reserves also, okay? So it's just managing the supply and demand, and of course, there may come the point where we have to reduce the size of the contract, or maybe, if the growth continues the way it is, maybe they have to pause it for a period. I really don't know, okay? But if you've got mining right now, it's a good thing to have. If you own Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies right now, it's a good thing to have. But there's no crystal ball on this, okay? We know what capacity that is available out there. But what we don't know is the demand at any given moment. It's like owning a restaurant. You have all your food supplies and staff and everything ready, and all of a sudden 10 buses of Japanese tourists pull up, and you're only used to dealing with one. I mean, it puts the operation into a bit of jeopardy. So we need to manage this. So there could be a bit of disruptions at times, but up until this point, given the demand, it has been a pretty smooth operation. Now, last week, actually the last 2 weeks, in some cases, because of the network collapse, and we know that all the mining has been happening without a problem. But there's been some fall downs in the issuing of the payout reports for some members. Out of the thousands upon thousands and thousands of people, we're talking, I think, a couple of dozen people maximum. But this has happened. But there's nothing to be worried about that. You notice something is not right. As Claudia showed you before, you go into your help thing and say, hey, I think I'm missing a bit of hash power or something here, or payout, that is, and we would have that analysed for you. But that's generally how it operates. But given the size of the ecosystem and how this network has grown in the crypto world the last the last 4 weeks, it's been absolutely huge. Things have actually held up very, very, very well. Where is it going to be the next 4 weeks, the next 8 weeks, the next 12 weeks, the next year? I really don't know, but I do know that Genesis Mining, I can't say where, but I know they've signed a contract with a new mining farm. Each hole will be 3,500 square meters in size. I mean, 3,500 square meters. So that is a huge space. It will contain tens of thousands of rigs just at one hole. There'll be multiple holes. Okay. So, but to set up a hole and the infrastructure, first of all, you're going to have the land. You've got to have the warehouse setting up. You've got to have the electricity supplies, the cooling systems, the rigs. If the rigs are available today, it's not so easy to get today because they're in so much demand. But also you've got to be legally compliant within that jurisdiction to be able to set up such a farm to provide such services. They do everything correct. So on the one side you might be thinking, you know, maybe this is not good, they may not be able to pay us out. Just know this, they are a solid company, I mean massive company. They do everything legally correct. They don't go and set up things even if it's Iceland unless they have their legal team do all the local stuff for local regulations and things like that. So there is a lag time in setting up and establishing these farms, but they're expanding. I mean, they're investing tens of millions of dollars expanding their farms. So their vision on the alternative coins for mining and Bitcoin is very, very bullish. That doesn't mean there'll be issues, okay? But hopefully that sort of addressed that answer, Claudia.
And there was another question, Bill. Somebody asked, am I correct in saying Genesis pay us and SGT does the back office? I believe what his meaning is, they buy the hash power through us, and of course then Genesis pays, of course, the hash power to them.
No. It all comes. Well, all the hash power comes from Genesis, just like all the gold comes from the refinery Argo Horizon. Okay, Genesis is the supplier of our hash power, but the way it's integrated and engineered in the back office is quite complex. But people place your orders on our system, of course, and through our APIs and through our integration with their system, we pull the hash power that's required for the various contracts to fulfill those particular positions. That's how it works. But primarily, yes, we have a contract with Genesis Mining to be our supplier, as we have a contract with Argo Horizon Refinery to supply our gold and silver.
And the main question what people having is about having a written contract and invoice for the purchaser.
Well, but the invoice comes from Swiss Gold Global. The invoice does not come from Genesis.
Yes, and where do we customers stand with the contracts? Example, SGT does our back office. Would Genesis take over in case they go down? How does it work if there is a dispute?
Okay. What sort of dispute do you mean? I mean, you have a contract. We have a contract with our supplier. And the people members have an agreement with Swiss Gold Global, our company. Okay, we provide you the service from our service providers. Now, if something was to happen to Genesis or something was to happen with us, not that I believe that will ever happen, the system, I can't see that actually happening. On the legal sense, if we were going into bankruptcy or Genesis was going into bankruptcy, then it would just be the normal laws of that jurisdiction. In our case, it would be Switzerland, that the jurisdiction laws of financial bankruptcy would take place. And then, of course, creditors would come in, they take over the control of the operation, pretty much everything is shut down, and then they pay out the outstanding bills and things like that, just like any other company that was to go into bankruptcy. Now, whether they would still let suppliers like Genesis provide products and services, I probably don't think so, given how bankruptcies and companies, when company administrators take over. I mean, that's your risk, isn't it? So the question is then how do you mitigate your risk? How do you balance your risk? I mean, in one sense, we are a counterparty risk to your gold and silver. We are a counterparty risk to your Bitcoin mining or alternative coin mining. So just like your gold and silver, when you buy the gold outright, you've got it. There's no risk there. The same with your bitcoins and altcoins. But when you're mining, you've got other people providing services for you. You're always exposing yourself to another. It's just like when you put money in the bank, you then become a creditor to that bank. As long as the bank is solid and it's correct, everything is fine. But you no longer own your money in real legal terms when it comes to into the banking sector. That's truly how it works. So again, I'm just telling you as it is, and that's being very transparent. And so it's going to depend on your levels of risk management, isn't it? If it's too risky, if the fire's too hot, don't get into it. Keep away from it, or just put into it what you feel comfortable with in case something was to go wrong. I mean, our biggest risk is not our biggest risk is not financial, and Genesis' biggest risk is certainly not financial. The biggest risk is regulators, because regulators can change anything on a spin of a dime. That is the absolute truth. The biggest risk is not financial for either company. The biggest risk would be what regulators may impose or do. That could be the case, but we have no crystal ball regarding it. But that is the truth of the matter.
Correct. I mean, that's the point. Regulators, you never know what they do. But I mean, the thing is, what I would say to the listeners is, look, so you bought your hash power, you're getting paid, and this hash power is continuing to pay. You got your contract. It would only be just in the case of, let's say, in that you just bought it, you haven't yet dedicated your hash power to you, and Swissquote Global shuts down. Or so I think only then, let's say. But otherwise, your contract still runs. I mean, it runs. But again, this is probably a very, very minor risk to other risk, of course, which is regulators. So I believe we are very good. We are fine. We should definitely, I see it like this. Hey, we are on a great trend right now. We are learning about a lot, and we should diversify, such as I do all the time. Get gold, get silver. I do buy coins outright. I own mining. I take a little bit of profits as well for my mining, so that I put what I had invested back into my pocket and enjoy just the mining. I mean, that's just what I do. But let me see if there's more questions coming here. Or maybe Bill, you want to add something? Otherwise, if there's no more questions, I'm just going to end this because I think we are almost on the hour.
I think, listen, again, it comes back to people. Listen, we would all like to know, yes, this is the way it is. You're going to buy this, and this is what you're going to get paid out, 100% guaranteed, insurance back, the whole thing. Well, in the world of high returns, the fact is there's risk associated with that, and you have to accept responsibility for that. If you can't accept responsibility for that, you shouldn't be coming in the first place, to be quite honest. I'll be quite strong about that, because I know from investing in the 1990s in the dot-com boom and different things. So it's up to you. We give you the opportunity to get started with a free account. You can start with $30. You can actually start without anything. Refer some people that earn free hash power. Okay? So we try and be as fair and minimize risk to people. That's why I say to people, don't overextend things. It's very exciting what is happening right now, which tends to, this emotion, I'll repeat myself again, tends to make people maybe dip into their pocket a bit deeper than what maybe they should. So be balanced about that, okay? I remember, I'll tell you a quick story when I owned one of my hotels. I owned a hotel, I owned 4 hotels actually. One of my hotels in Melbourne, which I had 45 poker machines, gaming machines we called them. And I had a little Jewish lady coming, and her name was Faye. She came up to about my waist. She still had the numbers tattooed into her arm from the prison camp, but she'd been an entrepreneur in her life. Now, she was in her 80s, and she used to love coming to our venue, and she'd sit there in front of a poker machine. She'd mind her own business, a bit of entertainment for her. Her husband had passed away, and she'd sit there for hours playing the machines and have a coffee, and we'd provide free drinks and snacks for our guests. And this hotel had, other areas as well. We had a club, for bands and things. We had restaurants. We had a bar where you could bet on horse racing all around the world. But anyway, Faye she was very unique, and she sometimes would put $2,000 to $5,000 a week into these machines, which, I don't like them personally. but it provided entertainment for her. But one day I went up to Faye and said, Faye, listen, excuse me, and I had a good relationship with her. She was a tough old lady. I said, Faye, listen, I've noticed that you've been putting quite a bit into the machines. I'm a bit concerned about that, you know. And she said, Mr. Bill, do not tell me what to do, how to spend my money. If I want to put $5,000 a week in the machines, I will do that. She said, I earn so much and so much. She's been very successful. But my responsibility was to look after her, make sure that she's not overextending, putting her family, her life, her livelihood, her house, or whatever she might have at risk. I mean, she won quite a few jackpots as well. But the point is, I want you to think that way as well. Don't overextend things, because the emotion of that you're going to have this big win, this is going to be the jackpot that's going to set you free in your life. Be balanced with that, but be mature with your decisions. Have financial IQ. And speak about it if you're married or in a relationship and it's both partners' money. Be transparent about what money you're putting into these things and what you can expect out of it. Understand the risks associated with that. Because high returns are associated with high risk. It's as simple as that. But right now, the sector is exceptionally strong. No question, it's exceptionally strong. There's huge money flowing into it, and of course you could do exceptionally well. But again, how long will it last? We don't know. So I just want to repeat that and be very balanced and be very transparent to you about that, that just know what you're doing and be very balanced with how you do it. I mean, people like yourself, Claudia, and many other leaders, of course, you earn your hash power by referring, which is also a great way to do it. You're minimizing your risk, but you're actually earning hash power and you're teaching them to do the same, which is a great thing, isn't it? You can get started from a free account or maybe a minimum package of $170, which is primarily no risk, and through a huge network out there and it's so popular, you can really grow a lot of hash power and grow a substantial business that way. So there's multiple ways that you could actually do it. And that's really what I wanted to say, Claudia. The other thing what I wanted to say, just one last thing. I've noticed because sometimes the Treasury Department and support contact me. We've had people who have bought gold packages, which is an annual package of $797. And then they'll come back and say, listen, we thought we were only getting X amount of return. Now, the gold package has $150 worth of precious metals. It has 200 gigahash or 0.2 of a terahash of Bitcoin mining. And then they say, well, why are we only, and they have an annual membership included in there as well, why are we only getting so much Bitcoin payout? And of course, the support people, they will reply, well, to buy the gold package, you've gone past the first account, you've gone past the silver account, you've gone past the free account, you've gone past the minor package, you've gone past the silver package, you bought the gold package. Now, in the gold package, when you click on it, it tells you everything that you got there. So when you're bringing people into Swiss Gold Global, take your time, just don't sell them into something. Make sure that people understand what they're actually buying. You're going to build trust. You're going to build a relationship with your prospects. They're going to trust you. Once they get trust and understand what they're actually buying, maybe then they feel more comfortable to be put in. But if they buy a package such as a gold package, thinking that $800 is going towards just hash power, where the truth of the matter is it's not. It's going towards gold. It's going towards the annual membership. It's going towards a smaller Bitcoin hash package. In one sense, it's misleading the people, and they're only going to come back dissatisfied because they expected so much more of their payout. Even though on the packages it says very clearly what they're getting, but when people get very excited and they're told about high returns, they don't think. They just do, and then they sometimes may regret what they've actually done. So again, this is responsibility, and I think good leaders take the time to be transparent and to, of course, share the correct information with the people.
Thank you, Bill. Absolutely right. I mean, this is a new industry. We have a great program here, and certainly a program which gives you a great return. But with that, we have to take some responsibility as well and teach people about this new industry, and there's a lot to learn. I mean, I learn on a daily basis. I tell you guys, on a daily basis, I'm learning about cryptocurrency. But why I'm learning? Because I have an interest, because I like it, because it was the same when I learned about gold. I had a huge interest because I had no idea about our financial industry. I had no idea why I was working so hard, but my money would buy me less and less. I didn't know that because no education really teaches you that. And so I remember once I got into that around 10 years ago now, I was fascinated. I would study all that. I would every day spend so much time on just learning about it because I myself found it so interesting. And well, and same now with the Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency, I find it totally exciting and really great. So of course, and this is when, let's say, when we join in new people and they're all excited, and you got to a little bit take their hand. You got a little bit what you learned, you got to share, and you got to show them some sites where they're going to learn, because otherwise it's probably too overwhelming for them, because it does take time. But it's a great thing to learn about it. I believe it's going to stay here. How it will develop, nobody really knows. I think there has been so much money going into from large investors, big institutions, from all kinds of things built around it, from acceptance, that this will be certainly here to stay. I'm absolutely convinced about that. But it's going to be interesting. And meanwhile, if all this develops, well, we can enjoy our mining returns again, always if we be cautious, as Bill said. So with that, I believe there's one more question, Bill, coming here. So thank you so much. I believe everything has been answered. It was just a thank you on the question side. Bill, I hope you enjoy Switzerland, of course, Lugano, the trip to Horayos, and I know you're with some friends of mine, so pass them hello from me.
Claudia, I'll do that. Actually, the trip down here today from Zurich is very interesting. I took the train, which is my first time after being in Europe for 12 years. But this tunnel, the new tunnel going from the northern part of Switzerland to the southern part of Switzerland is just opened up. It's 57 kilometres long, this tunnel. And of course, you've got this train, Swiss train, travelling through this tunnel at 200 kilometres an hour. It just reduces the travel time so much from through the Alps. We're just cutting through this tunnel. Imagine a tunnel 57 kilometres long. It's quite amazing. But who I'm actually with, who you speak about on the webcast sometimes, is actually Philip Judge, the bullion banker that I met back in 2003 that introduced me to precious metals. And he's the man that I was at an accountancy firm in Zurich, where I invested a seven-figure income, a seven-figure number, I should say, into an energy fund with him back in the early 2003, 2004. And we're actually going to the Argor refinery together tomorrow. So it's great to connect with someone that really introduced me to real tangible wealth. In fact, when I walked into the board meeting back in 2003, his words were, "Bill, we only invest in products from the earth." I'm telling him now, though, of course, here we are, 2017, that maybe it should be, now it's going to look at some digital things as well, because the world has changed. But we're having some very interesting discussion. He's been a banker for over 30 years. Primarily, they own a precious metal fund and service very high net worth individuals and institutions. So it's been a very interesting trip with these bankers, and I look forward to our meeting tomorrow at the refinery. But with that, Claudia, I've got to go. And thank you for hosting today's call. And thank you for everyone joining us and supporting us on these calls and asking the questions. It's truly important. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bill, and again, say hello, and thank you all your listeners, and we see you on our Saturday presentation. Thank you so much, and have a good night. And again, any questions you guys have, I'm gonna again do it that you can actually see the screen. I'm gonna go again to this back office. Any questions you have, let me see if I'm still in the back office or not. Any questions you have, you need to go into your help button if you think you know there's something missing, or your Bitcoin payment hasn't gone through yet, or whatsoever it is, and send a ticket through your secure back office. Okay, with that, thank you so much and good night. God bless you.